Hey everyone, Tony D, and of course, Little Joan, with a hot take on freedom. Well, not the freedom you think. It's called Freedom Georgia, or the Freedom Project. Um, and this is getting some buzz, and Jeremy over at the Quartering covered it, and a few other people. It's this idea that 19 black families bought into this, I don't know, consortium, if you will. They bought 97 acres in rural Wilkinson County, Georgia, and the goal is to establish a city founded by black families that would be a safe haven, as if we live under some sort of oppressive regime that would allow that if they were actually oppressive. I mean, imagine you're living under, oh, I don't know, the regime from 1984, uh, and you think the INSOC party would, oh, you're going to buy 97 acres and build your own community. Well, I guess we can't stop you. I mean, what the hell is this? This is the dumbest thing ever. They kind of talk about it like it's Wakanda, which was a movie. Come on. First off, there are plenty of black neighborhoods. There are plenty of black communities. Have you not traveled to the United States? Why don't you go to one of those communities and make it even nicer? And I'm not talking about the ones that suck. I'm talking about the good ones. And there are plenty of good black communities out there. You can find them. Go find them and build them up. Oh, you're going to start over. Okay. And this isn't racist at all. That you're encouraging only people of one race to buy in. Oh, that doesn't sound racist at all. And that you're going to screen other non-black people to be in the community. This is the dumbest idea. And let me tell you the biggest problem with this idea. Are you ready? It has set aside the racist elements of this for a moment. The biggest problem is central planning. Yes, this is a centrally planned community. Like, that's not the way to plan your community. That's not how communities work organically. The way it works is communities spring up because of certain things in the area. Like, for instance, if there is a factory where a lot of people work, they may decide, well, I'm going to build my house in the neighborhood, down the road from the factory. And then other people do the same thing because it's convenient to get to work. And then once you got a few communities, then you need a commercial district so they don't have to schlep all the way over another county to get their groceries and clothes and other things. That's the way communities develop. They develop around something, usually around industry. As near as I could tell, there's no industry here. This is just an attempt to sort of shunt a bunch of people of the same race into a particular area, and then they're hoping it's going to prosper. That doesn't make any sense. And it's not very progressive at all. I mean, I know the people who are planning this are probably think they're super progressive, but no, this is just dumb. It's just, you're going to have lawsuits. Oh, yeah. Like, all the problems that the communities had, back in, let's say, the racist 20s, right? When there was actual racism and segregation in this country back then, right? And then over the years, eventually, black people made inroads until finally the civil rights movement. But there were inroads before that. There were lawsuits, and after that as well. That's exactly what you're inviting with a community like this. You're inviting lawsuits, especially if you say to someone who wants to move into the neighborhood, oh, you can't move in. You can't have it both ways. There have been lawsuits from people, sometimes black, sometimes of other races, who are not white, who have said, oh, well, I wasn't allowed to build here. I wasn't allowed to rent here. You're being racist. I'm going to sue you. You can't discriminate. That was the whole point of anti-discrimination laws. And now the same very woke progressive people have completely lost their minds because they think the world is burning down around them. And what's the first thing they do? Oh, segregation. Every man for himself. Well, certain men. It's insane. This is a dumb idea. And your central planning will ruin it, of course. Because you're going to plan out a bunch of stuff and it's just not going to work. And I wonder who you're going to blame. You can't blame people who aren't black because there won't be anybody but black people in your community. So that's a problem. I don't see that going well. So, I mean, this is just a dumb idea. You should abandon it and just start a community if that's what you want to do. And if black people want to move there, fine. I mean, what do you think is going to happen? How do these people who come up with this stuff, it's like they come from another planet where they've never met humans before. There are tons of community that are black. They erupted organically. Now, was there some racism involved? Yeah, you could argue in certain areas of the country, yes. There was, I don't know, housing ordinances that were kind of racist or really racist. I'm not totally familiar with them. I live in New Jersey. We're a pretty progressive state. That stuff probably went away like in the 40s. So, what do you expect to have happen here? And let's say the best case scenario, right? You start this community and it actually turns into Wakanda. It turns into an amazing paradise. You have scientists with vibranium building space age towers and travel and time travel. You have everything. What do you think how would people react to that? Or what are you going to do? Put up an invisible shield like in the movie and keep people out still? None of this makes sense. Can people not live their lives without being obsessed with other people? Can you not just let people live their lives as long as they're not hurting anybody? Can we just get all these busybodies? You know, every friggin' year, the people who are busybodies, the people who are obsessed with getting attention over whatever it is, it's a trend or whatever. Right now, it's race and diversity and feminism. Like, that's what everybody's obsessed with now. Back in the 80s, it was hip-hop music, the Satanic Panic, and religion. And in the 90s, they did it again. It was just a different version of it. I mean, it was the same damn record over and over again. This is more people who can't just live their lives. They're desperate to do something good. And as I've said in previous videos, being good is really hard. It requires a lot of work, and you got to really think about it and, you know, do stuff. But people can't do that because being good is tough. Being good is often boring and tedious. Being good takes years to really be recognized. And really, that's what they want. They want to be recognized. Look how good I am. Pat me on the head, someone. That's what this is about. It's a giant freaking virtue signal that's going to waste hundreds of thousands of dollars, uproot families, only to discover that, oh yeah, central planning doesn't work. Ostracizing people by race, segregating people by race won't work. It's stupid and dumb and counterproductive. And in 5 years, when this starts falling apart, if it even lasts that long, Donald Trump's out of office, and, you know, everything's been fined for 3 years. In fact, it's been great. How you're going to look back on it and say, oh man, we really did something? No, all these people are going to slink away. maybe some reporter will do a report. Oh, the failure of freedom. What happened? Freedom, Georgia, what happened? put a big spin on it, and who will get the blame. You know, you got to stop dividing people by race. Everybody should be judged as an individual, because individuals, regardless of race, they can be great, upstanding people who sacrifice, who take responsibility, and they could also be a-holes who rip you off, take advantage of you, and steal everything that isn't nailed down. Now, which will be the people who live in this neighborhood? I don't know, but I guarantee you'll get a mix of both to varying degrees, because that's the way humans are. And if you're just blinded by race, you're going to be blinded to the people who aren't acting appropriately. And you'll have some good people who happen to be the wrong race who want to get in, and well, I don't know. Oh, okay. It's well, you guys are being weird. We'll go somewhere else. So you end up ostracizing good people and taking in bad people under the cover of this. That's what's going to happen. So that's my prediction. Freedom. Freedom, Georgia, is a dumb, dumb, dumb idea.